Alright, we're ready to start designing, and I'm going to insert a photo. I'm going to click on my insert image icon up here, and if you remember from our getting started video, you can use the icons at the top, or you can use the command line at the top, or you can right click on your canvas. But I've opened up my insert image window, and now I'm ready to find my photo. So I'll click, and I'm going to grab this photo right here and then click on my open button. There! And now I'm ready to insert my image. Alright. Oh, I did want to mention that if you are using the installed version of Dreamdraper and you go to insert an image, your insert image window is going to look something like this, and you can use the buttons along the left or along the top to navigate on your computer to find your photos or your JPEG images. If you're a Dreamdraper online user, your insert image is going to look something like this, and you can use the buttons along the left to navigate and find your photos or your JPEG images. Remember, if you click on Documents, that's going to point to the cloud, to our server in the cloud. If you click on Client, that will then point to your computer. And remember, if you are a user of Dreamdraper Online, we have a lot of tutorials on our website which will show you how to navigate between the cloud and your computer. Okay, we have our photo on the canvas, and if you will recall from the Getting Started video, this whole area within this rectangle is what will appear on the printed page. So if you were actually to print this page right now, your design would be very small on the printed page. So for this kind of a photo, we would recommend resizing it. So I'm just going to move it up like this. And remember, if you want to resize proportionately, make sure that the Shift key is depressed as you pull on a corner handle, and that way your photograph will not get distorted. It won't resize out of shape. There! I've enlarged the photo so that it will fit within this rectangular area. That is your printed page. And I resize the photo so that it does not distort. Keep your finger depressed on the Shift key while you pull on one of the corner handles, any one of the 4 corner handles. I'm going to insert the same photo again, the original photo, which hasn't been resized. And you can see it right here. You can see how much smaller, I'm going to move it over so you can see it better, how much smaller the original photo is than the one that we just resized. And if you are designing on a photo and you want to do it quickly, what you really want to do is have a photo and a design that is pretty, that is easy for the customer to see. If you stayed with the original sized photo over there on the left, then what you're presenting to the customer is going to be extremely small on the printed page. And that's why we resized it. Now, the other thing that you're going to notice with this particular photo is that the windows are at an angle. And Dreamdraper can handle that. But for this first example, we're going to start off with a more simple window. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this photo, and I can highlight it. That means you can see the handles, these blue little squares. And I can either depress the Delete key on my keyboard, or I can depress this trash can icon at the top. There. Now let me go ahead and insert another image. I'm going to do this simple double hung window here. And click on the Insert Image button. Wonderful. Now, this photo is much larger than the other one. I could resize it to fill up more of the page, but in this instance, I'm just going to let it go. Now, before we actually start designing, what we would like to do is we'd like to lock down this photo because it's way too easy to move, and there's nothing more frustrating than trying to design on a photo and your photo keeps moving. There are two ways that you can lock it down. One way is you can actually click on this lock icon here at the top. Notice that the blue handles that were around the photo are now replaced by your locks. Now I'm going to do the click away, and if you watch the Getting Started video, you know the click away just means to click anywhere on the blank canvas so that nothing is highlighted. So I'm going to just click right over here. There. Now the reason why I did that is because I wanted to show you that if I click on the photo, my mouse will detect the photo. I'll do the click away, and then I'm going to click back onto the photo. So even though the photo's locked and I can't move it, my mouse will still detect it. Alright, I'm going to do the click away again. I should also mention that I am right-handed, and so when I say click with your mouse, I'm generally meaning a left click. Now there's another way to lock down your photo that I actually prefer. Now if you look at that photo is locked in place. If you look up here at your lock icon, the lock icon is actually grayed out. You can't really tell that that photo is locked in place until you click on it and highlight it. There. You see, now you can see the locks, and now you can see that the unlock icon has been enabled. So you can go ahead and unlock it, or you can go ahead and lock it. But if I do the click away, and I'm going to click on the blank canvas, notice what happens to my lock icons. They both become disabled. That's just a little note for you. Alright, let me show you what I like to do with my photos. There is this Layers tab over here on the right. If you place your mouse over the Layers tab, your Layers window will open up. Now, I like to keep my Layers window open, so I will place my mouse over the Layers tab, and then I will click on this middle icon. It looks like a push pin on a PC. If you're working on a Mac, it's just going to look like a dot, but it's the middle icon. If you click on it, there, your Layers window will remain open. If you notice on the right here is a lock, and it's in the open position. That's the lock for the layer, and I'm going to click on this lock and I'm going to lock layer 1. Now notice what happens when I go to click on the photo. I'm clicking on the photo, but my mouse does not detect it at all. I much prefer the layer lock. With the other locks up here, if I clicked on the photo, my mouse would detect it. But using a layer lock, I can click and my mouse will not detect the photo. That makes it much, much easier to design on. There's nothing more frustrating than having a lot of components on a photo that you are using and you keep accidentally grabbing the photo instead of the components. Alright, so I've built my base. In this case, the base is the photo, or your base could be a wall elevation that you've created or a floor plan. but I've created my base, I've locked it down on layer 1, and now I'm ready to start designing. And I prefer to design on layer 2. So in order to create layer 2, I'm going to click on this icon down here that has the plus sign. And when I click it, there, you see, layer 2 has been created. Layer 2 is highlighted, and now I can start designing.